Alright, we're going to go through the acoustic guitar parts for Heartbeat, and this is the specific arrangement that we're going to send for the full-time program year 17-18 in their overseas tour to Hong Kong. And the reason I call that out is because we're making two pretty significant alterations to how we normally play this song. The first is that instead of two electrics, we're going to be playing this with an electric and acoustic, obviously, acoustic parts. And the other is that it's going to be male-led, so it's going to be in B instead of G. And I'm super excited about both of those changes. I think it's going to be a really cool song, and just kind of a different way of interpreting it. So, because you're going to be playing in B on the acoustic, it's really easy to just throw on a capo on fret 4 and play G chords in the key of G. So that means that there's like 5 chords in this whole song, and you already know them all. It's just G, D, E minor, C, and A minor. You already know all this stuff, which is really, really great. The parts are really simple, so I'm just going to talk through, there's kind of 3 different feels that you're going to be going for. So I'll talk through them real quick, and then I'll just cue up the song, and we'll just play through it. So, sorry. The first is just palm muted chords, and that's kind of your verse feel. So, throughout the whole song, you're just going to be doing, like, down strums. You're not, like, really, like, not that kind of, like, the normal, like, campfire acoustic kind of feel. You're just doing, like, these aggressive down strums. And this song is so, like, the original is so, like, produced and so precise that you really want to try and keep everything as clean and as locked in together with the rest of the band as you can. So, your verse feel is just palm muted down strums. Kind of that feel, and you'll know how much to kind of open up that muting or how much to kind of clamp down just based on what the arrangement needs as you guys are practicing in full band. But that palm muted, that aggressive down strum palm muting is your verse feel, and then you're basically be doing the same thing in the fuller choruses. So sometimes you'll be like out for the first half of the chorus, and then when the chorus picks up, you'll be doing that same thing but without the palm muting. So kind of like that. It's actually the same exact chords, same progression, and that is your feel for the chorus and the turn. And you want to, I think I was a little sloppy with my right hand in that example, but as much as you can, you really want to focus on the lower strings as opposed to the higher tinier strings. These will cut through the sound a little bit more, but you're really, you're kind of filling in the role of what we would normally have as a rhythm electric part, which would be playing like lower, beefier power chords. So as much as you can, and especially since it's in B and we've already like capoed up for, so we've already kind of made the sound a little bit tinier, you want to focus on those low strings as much as you can to kind of fill out the low end of the instrument a little bit more. So you got palm muted chords for the verses, you've got the unmuted chords basically played the same way in like the big choruses and the turns, and then you've got the feel that you'll use for the first bridge, and that's a little bit different than everything else that you've done. And these are, I think I called them, what did I call them on the chart or on the guitar notes? Aggressive marcato style chords. So if you have never played in band or anything like that and you don't know the word marcato, essentially they're strongly accented and there's space in between each note. So just think like you're not trying to make the notes, you're not trying to make these notes real short, like, not like that. You're not trying to shorten things, but you want to create a clear space between each note. And the entire band is going to be doing this kind of thing, so you'll want to listen as a whole for that space in between each quarter note, so that it sounds really crisp and really precise, because if one person is not creating that space, then it negates the effort of everybody else creating that space. So in the first bridge, it's just going to be A minor to C, back and forth. And here's what that will sound like. And then you want to land on that G. So it's going to be easier for you to kind of feel out when the rest of the band is in playing those hits. And it's kind of a hard line to walk sometimes between staccato and marcato. Like, the idea is to let the note ring out as long as possible, to play it really strong, really bold, let it ring out as long as possible, while still giving you enough time to create space before the next hit. So you'll feel that out, and like I said, the rest of the band is going to be doing it, so it's going to be a really important part of the song where you all really have to listen to each other and lock in and keep it really precise. And that is basically it. Those are the only 3 things that you'll be doing in the song, and it's just a matter of memorizing the only chord progression and remembering which feel you go to where. So because the parts are so simple, it really frees up your mental energies to be focused on precision in the song, to really focus in on what the rest of the band is doing and make sure that everything is super tight, because that is really, you've heard the original recording of the song, and that's really true to the original recording, is that everything is very precise and very together, because a lot of those elements are produced in a studio and not actual live musicians. So I am going to go ahead and pull that up, and we'll play through it together. And we'll be doing a little bit different of a thing for the intro, because we're not going to have the vocals come in right off the bat, when they're not going to be able to get a tempo or a pitch reference. But I think that your music trainers will kind of talk you in. You won't be in for that little intro part. You'll come in where the vocals come in. So I think your music trainers will probably just talk you through that. Or you can watch the electric guitar video, because I will talk her through that then. So you'll be out for this first half of the chorus. I expect Kenny to hit all those notes right there where they're sitting. Just kidding. Big for the chorus. Well, here's the turn. This is full energy, unlike the last turn. Here come those marcato bridge chords. Hit that G and just kind of let it ring until that D comes in, and then I just kind of mute myself a little bit. You're out for the second bridge, the spoken bridge, and then back in for that final outro turn with the big chorus chords. And that is the whole song. One thing I do want to point out about the first chorus, because I don't know that I marked it clearly. I know for sure that I marked it wrong on the guitar notes, but I'm sure you've heard it in the recording. The first chorus is different from the second chorus in two ways. One, the first half of the first chorus is a breakdown, whereas the second time you come to the chorus, it's all high energy. And the same thing is true for the turn after the first chorus. The turn after the first chorus is a lower energy. It goes back to like that verse feel, whereas the turn after the second chorus is high energy. It's that chorus. So for the first half of the first chorus, you'll be out, and then you'll be in for the second half. For the first turn, you'll go back to palm muted chords, the verse feel chords. For the second chorus, you'll be in straight from the top the whole way through the chorus with those big chorus chords, and then you'll continue those big chorus chords through the turn. So there's two ways that the first chorus differs from the second chorus, and because I didn't mark it very well on the guitar notes, I don't think I called that out earlier in the video. So just be aware of that, and if you have to mark it down and remind yourself on your chart, go ahead and do that. And let me know if you have any questions.